My faith is buried somewhere underneath the town until it's paid for. Strawberry season, my sweetheart has come around after it rained and poured. How did you find me here? It must been perfect time. Forever grateful. If I didn't love you then, I damn sure love you now. Say, ain't shit changed but the bank statements.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
Take a drive on any major highway in California, past the big cities, and you're bound to see them. Farm workers toiling in the fields for hours on end. They represent the backbone of our nation's broken food system and California's $50 billion agriculture industry. The labor is tough and backbreaking. Pesticides and chemical use cause a variety of long-term health issues. The payment is just below the federal poverty line. 90% of farm workers in the state of California are of Mexican nationality. Farm working in California stretches back hundreds of years, and their stories then and now are both of struggle. Young generations of established farm working families are pursuing better opportunities. Tightened border security has slowed immigration, and mass deportations of undocumented residents has contributed even more to a decline in the workforce in recent years. People who want to work often find they can't afford to live where the work is. Big agriculture is turning to a new source of labor, the federal H-2A visa program. Labor contractors travel directly to Mexico's many pueblos, recruiting large teams of mostly men to travel to America and work in the fields. They have no chance at U.S. citizenship and are completely under the control of their employer, but jump at the opportunity to make a far greater income to support their families, while sacrificing months to years of time with them. Under the program, workers are entitled to a set pay on a sliding scale, which now sits around $14 per hour. They are to be provided meals and housing at no cost, but the rules are poorly enforced and abuse is commonplace. California's current housing crisis has exacerbated these problems. In the town of Santa Maria, the heart of Central Coast agriculture, H-2A workers are housed in converted motels and residential properties. Some residents have not been welcoming, seeing overcrowded houses full of young men as threats to their safety. In Nipomo, a farming company planned to house up to 200 workers in 5 custom single-family homes on a quiet cul-de-sac. The homes were later burned in an act of arson. Santa Maria and other cities across California are scrambling to create ordinances to regulate and create more farm worker housing. At the corner of Boone and Russell Streets in Santa Maria lies ground zero for the farm working community in the city. San Luis Obispo nonprofit developer People's Self-Help Housing has constructed 3 developments here in the past decade of farm worker family housing. Residents of these properties must be legal residents of the U.S. and must gain a significant source of their income from farm work. In a city with a median rent price of $1,400 for a 1-bedroom apartment, wait lists are long and families who live here consider themselves extremely fortunate. Schools, grocery stores, and shopping are within walking or driving distance. This thesis would focus on creating a new model for a farm worker community located immediately to the south at the corner of Blosser and Knudsen on a repurposed packaging plant. It would combine both temporary workers and families in harmony. Housing would coexist with a community agricultural education lab designed to inform the public, specifically school-age youth, about the history and effects of industrial farming in California. The community's design would focus on a material authenticity and communal layout that respects the architectural and socio-cultural traditions of Mexico while incorporating sustainable energy generation and water recycling techniques. Public art would celebrate the faces that bring food to our table every day and be honest about the history of struggle instead of, well, this. While the fight for the rights of farm workers goes far beyond simply building adequate housing, building community is the key to solving complex issues. In the words of Cesar Chavez, once social change begins, it cannot be reversed. You cannot uneducate the person who has learned to read. You cannot humiliate the person who feels pride. You cannot oppress the people who are not afraid anymore.